Mm. Does anyone have a question? I say it over again. And all this meditation about is just simply learning how to love, learning how to be a happy person, learning how to fulfill one's humanity, and to really work out your karma. And happy people have worked out their karma. Yet, I'm not talking this kind of ha-ha, charismatic, kind of false happiness. I'm talking something that emerges from deeply inside a human being, a sense of peace, a sense of joy inside them, ability to communicate with other people, and to listen to other people, and to let life teach them exactly what they have to learn in order to grow. I mean, that's all this meditation is about. It's not about gurus and swamis and rituals and, it's not about any of that. It's about each and every person that practices it is here, I would say, I guess, singular purpose to build that kind of system inside themselves. Building that kind of system allows them to become a child of God. They become a vehicle through which God's energy, spirit, higher energy in the universe, whatever one wants to call it, flows through them. And it not only nurtures them, but it nurtures people that are around them and their family, their friends, their jobs, you know. And I think what we do is no more complicated than that. And it's not about rituals and, wearing the right clothing and smelling from the right incense and chanting the right mantra and doing everything in the right Hindu or Buddhist way. It's not about that. It's about building one's humanity. And each of us is unique. Each of us will have a different path in which we serve a higher energy in the universe. And that's what makes it wonderful. And all this meditation is getting the energy that enables one to do it. This meditation is not a religion, it's not a cult. It's, I keep saying it, it's a filling station on the road through life to get energy so that we can live it with joy, with love, with gratitude, with as Rudy said, a deepest sense of surrender. It's one of the reasons I love about this work. You can't put your finger on it. The moment you put your finger on it, it'll become something else. And that's terrific. It means we are constantly changing, growing, seeing the world differently. Does anyone have a question? Is it clear what I'm talking about? Because I mean, even in the midst of Kundalini yoga, there can be so much bullshit. And as Rudy said, bullshit, if you can transform it inside yourself, it creates an organic garden. It's compost. So we have to be able to take whatever life offers us, the good, the bad, the indifferent, the ugly, transform it into compost, into Shakti, into energy that enables an organic garden to grow inside us. Does anyone have a question? No questions. Oh, well, Saint, you don't have a question? Michael. I'm just kidding. Is anyone? Okay. I hope it's clear what I'm talking about. I talk about it a lot. You might be even tired of listening to it, but it hits the nail right on the head about what this is all about. And it's not even me talking, it is just this higher energy reminding us all what Rudy's meditation is all about. That's all it is. It's not me talking about this. This energy comes through and it manifests this way as a reminder what we are really doing here.
Stuart, I have a question, Bob Sink.
Yes, well,
Um, so there are some days that are really difficult, very thick, very elusive, um, and I know that that is the time that I need to summon up or find the connection to this happiness that you are speaking about. It's like I don't want to wait to the very end. It's like no, it's like but uh, could you talk about how to uh, connect to that happiness in the middle of uh, deep change?
well, look, I mean, it's not something I don't talk about. Yes, we do a form of Kundalini yoga. Yes, we work on developing chakras, a chakra system inside ourselves, which is a direct link inside each and every one of us and higher energy in the universe. To develop that chakra system, we have to open our hearts. We have to truly, have gratitude inside. We have to feel love. Otherwise, the chakra system's not going to open. Pieces of it will open, but for the energy to flow from the cosmos, through the crown chakra, down into the third eye, to the throat, to the heart, to the chakra below the navel, the sex, the base of the spine, and up the spine again. I mean, for the energy to flow like that, our job is to get the chakra system strong enough to do it. And in the process of getting the chakra system strong enough to do this, one of the rewards is we become happy people. It's not going to work unless there's joy in our hearts. It's not going to work unless there's love inside us. So, feeling gratitude, being centered, the very basic principles of the meditation are exactly what one has to do in order to get what you're asking for, Bob. Just the basic principles of what the meditation Rudy developed will build a system inside that enables the heart to stay open, for there to be love, to be that level of surrender inside. And I think that that's all it's about. I mean, this is not terribly complicated. It's just doing what Rudy set out, this fundamental, basic double breathing exercise. Gets right to the core of everything that Rudy ever taught. And one of the greatest things he ever taught is this state of Ananda that you have to attain in order to become one with God. You build that inside yourself. You build a system that enables you to do that. There's no switch you can turn on that's going to do. You've got to get grounded. You've got to have gratitude. You've got to get a quiet mind. Throat has to be open. Energy has to move through the sexual area. All of this is a process that literally transforms every element of our humanity into spirit that activates Kundalini. But this is a process of a human being learning how to do this. And this is what Rudy taught. And it works because of the transmission of Shakti, because most people are starving to death inside. They're hungry. They need energy to do what I'm talking about. As I always say, a car needs gasoline, a refrigerator needs electricity, a computer needs electricity. They need energy to work. We need energy too. Shakti is energy. That's what it is. And that energy flows through us because we develop a system inside that enables it to happen. And this is the very essence of what Rudy taught. I mean, it manifests in many, many different ways, but he always spoke about getting back to the basics. And the basics is the double breathing exercise, which enables this whole thing to manifest inside us. I mean, people often have, why don't you teach chanting and this and that? I mean, I tried that. It doesn't really work for me. But I want to do the basics. I want to do absolutely, what Rudy's meditation was all about. And the thing that basically saved my life and enabled me to evolve and have a spiritual life and to be able to be sitting here transmitting this Shakti, this energy to everybody that's in this class. It's the basics. And people look for other things. And I mean, when you're given such an amazing teaching, what's to look for? Do it and use it to develop the chakra system.
There are also days when things are thick as mud. You feel like you're clawing through a swamp.
Yeah.
What are you doing on
What
those
do I
days?
do? I get very quiet, Bob. I get very quiet and I allow that mud, I allow that little lotus seed that's in the mud to grow out of the mud. I don't fight it. And where did I learn that? Walking into Rudy's gallery, seeing him sitting there stringing beads. I mean, this massive energy force who was my teacher, sitting there stringing beads. And I said, Rudy, what? He's, I'm not capable of doing anything else. And I'm the same way and it gets like that for me. It gets that way for everybody. But instead of wasting energy fighting it, being pissed off because, it gets like mud, just quietly allow it to work itself out. It always works itself out. And do the meditation exercise. Because, even chipping away a little bit at it gets you a little closer to being able to deal with that kind of mud. It gets into people's systems and creates depression and unhappiness. Nothing works. And, Mercury is in retrograde all the time in that mud. And one has to just, retreat. You have to retreat. Not a time to do big things. It's a time to get quiet, to get simple, to relax, to, see a movie, watch a television program, just do shit, do nothing. And then something manifests. I have that. I have days like that. And being able to use it, what is manifest? I mean, this book that I'm waiting, Kenny is working on and, designing, and I'm totally in awe of having written that thing. And a lot of it was written through, you know, having to plant lotus seeds in mud.
Thank you, Stuart. That was very good.
You're welcome. And don't feel sorry for yourself, just to finish. I really mean it, All that does is waste a lot of energy. Just get quiet. Relax. Relax. Don't fight with yourself. Don't, just relax. Let whatever it is unfold. Does anyone else have a question? I'm telling you, honestly, I used to walk into Rudy's gallery, and this is not just once, and he'd be sitting there stringing beads. I mean, this massive energy, this remarkable being who, lit up the world. For me, anyway, he lit up the world, sitting there stringing beads. What? I'm incapable of doing anything else. To have somebody of that magnitude admit that he was incapable of doing anything else at that moment is one of the greatest signs of humility I'd ever seen in my life. What an education. You talk about having all your expectations turned around and having to accept, one of the greatest things you can accept, humility in another human being. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? Okay, thank you. God bless you all. There'll be meditation on Wednesday evening. I lose track of the days, On Wednesday, there'll be meditation. God bless you. And, you know, and, I can't wait for this book. I don't want to bug you, Kenny. I can't wait for the book. It's, it's just, I mean, I shouldn't have seen the first 15 pages. It's got, anyway, bless you all. Thank you. Thank you, because so much of what you have done in my life made that book possible. And I really mean it. So God bless you all, and thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday.
All right, Stuart. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night, Stuart.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.